If I had one major food weakness, it would have to be seafood. And nowhere in the world we find seafood quite as good as what you find here in New Zealand. In fact, just a 45-minute drive out of Auckland CBD is a seafood experience you've just got to take. It's your chance to enjoy fresh oysters, shucked, and you actually get to go to the farm yourself and do it. So, I'm about to jump on that over there. That's the Shuckle Ferry, and we're about to have a lot of fun. It's not often you get the opportunity to visit a working oyster farm, and this tour has been running since 2015 in one of New Zealand's fastest growing tourism regions. And it's not hard to see why. As soon as you arrive, you're greeted with that famous New Zealand hospitality. It's called Manakatanga. This is the Kiwi connection with people expressed through kindness and hospitality. The tour leaves from Scott's Landing, nestled in the Maharangi Harbour. If you're not too good on boats, don't worry. This is an extremely safe, calm harbour. Cruising the historic Browns Bay is an experience you'll never forget. Our tour is run by Philip Morris, who's full of interesting stories. So Phil, this is a pretty amazing experience for people to come along. They must be like blown away with the complexity of farming these oysters, right?
Yeah, well, that's why we do the tour on the low tide, because as the tide drains out, what it's doing today, you get to see what oyster farming is all about.
It's a pretty sustainable kind of industry too, isn't it?
Yeah, very sustainable. You know, everything from what the oysters are growing on, the wooden sticks.
Yep.
We catch them and then we put them out into the deeper part of the water, let them grow for a year, take them off those sticks and then just recycle them again. So it's just a revolving process. We don't feed them anything. It's all just growing naturally.
Once you arrive at the farm, it's time for Phil to get to work. On come the rubber trousers and into the water he goes. Guests on the tour are allowed to eat as many of these delicious oysters as they want. There's just one condition. You have to shuck them yourself. And the next step? Well, it's my favourite, eating the oysters, and fresh oysters are absolutely delicious. And as an added treat, the barbecue's been fired up. Phil puts the fresh oysters on a barbie for 10 minutes on high heat, and they're ready to go. With a nice cold beer to wash them down, of course. These are the best oysters you're ever going to have. These barbecued oysters are to die for. That garlic butter is incredible. Now, you do two tours, don't you? So there's a lunchtime tour?
Yeah, midday every day. Doesn't matter what the tide is. We come over, pick up fresh oysters, eat oysters, and you're back in an hour, which means you still have a lot of time to do other stuff in the area. And then we do what we've done today, which is a 2-hour full experience. Which
is what I would recommend people do. Now, you'd need to be notified, what, 24 hours out?
Yep, correct.
And as long as that's the case, you bring people out here and they all get this incredible experience. And if you want to take some home, because let's face it, I've only eaten about 3 dozen so far, I might want some on the way home. $10 a dozen?
Yep, $10 a dozen, fresh straight from the water, whole shell. And now that you know how to shuck them, piece of cake.
Unbelievable. Thanks, mate.